Horsehair worms, Nematomorpha, are fascinating parasitic organisms that exhibit remarkable control over the behavior of their hosts, typically insects such as grasshoppers, crickets, and beetles. The life cycle of the horsehair worm begins when its larvae infect an insect host. Initially, the larvae enter the host's body, often through ingestion of contaminated water or food. Once inside, the larvae begin to grow, eventually developing into long, thin, thread-like worms that can stretch several times the length of the host's body. The worm's growth and development take place within the host, and during this period, the parasite starts exerting influence over the host's behavior. As the horsehair worm matures, it secretes chemicals that alter the host's nervous system and compel it to seek out water. This is a critical part of the parasite's reproductive process, as the worm must lay its eggs in a watery environment. In a process that remains not entirely understood, the horsehair worm manipulates the host's behavior, forcing it to abandon its usual instincts and jump into water. The infected insect, which would normally avoid water, is now driven to seek out a body of water, often leading to its own death. Once submerged, the horsehair worm emerges from the host's body, ready to reproduce. The worm lays its eggs in the water, and the cycle continues as the larvae hatch and seek new hosts. This parasitic manipulation is a compelling example of how certain organisms have evolved to use complex biochemical and behavioral strategies to ensure their survival and reproduction. While the exact mechanisms behind this control are still being studied, it is clear that the horsehair worm relies on its ability to influence the host's nervous system to fulfill its life cycle. The control is so strong that the infected host no longer exhibits any of its natural behaviors and is effectively turned into a vehicle for the parasite's reproduction. Although the insect host usually dies shortly after the worm emerges, the parasitic worm's success relies on the host's altered behavior, demonstrating an extraordinary example of parasitism in nature. Thank you for watching. We have some amazing videos coming up, so stay tuned and make sure to hit the subscribe button.